This is Past Part 2.
Good Sunday morning, Acadiana, and thank you for joining us for Past Part 2. I'm Renee Allen. We're looking into the timeline of the criminal background of Nigel Hurst, the suspect in the hostage standoff in Jeanerette, resulting in 4 Lafayette police officers being shot. News 10's Roderick Taylor sharing his extensive criminal history with us.
After speaking with the Department of Public Safety and Corrections Communications Director, I discovered Nigel Hurst has charges in several parishes, including Lafayette, Iberia, and St. Mary Parish. His charges go back to 2012. 31-year-old Nigel Hurst found himself in the public eye after being a suspect in an armed hostage standoff in Jeanerette when authorities attempted to serve an arrest warrant. The incident claimed the life of a Lafayette police officer and left 3 other officers injured. One of the hostage News 10 spoke with highlighted Hurst's continuous run-ins with law enforcement.
The place is surrounded, like there's no getting out of here thinking that you're not going with them. But he didn't want to go back to jail. He spent most of his life in there, and he didn't want to go back.
News 10 learns from the Department of Public Safety and Corrections that Hurst's crime started in Iberia Parish in 2012 on 3 different drug counts. He was given time to serve and given probation. Reports say he failed to report to his probation and parole officer. Hurst was previously accused of attempted first-degree murder, but in 2017 pleaded guilty to amended charges of conspiracy to commit second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 10 years of hard labor. Hurst was released onto good time parole supervision the following year. However, Hurst left his good time parole supervision and a warrant was issued for him. Texas authorities arrested Hurst and transported him back to Louisiana. His good time parole supervision was revoked. 2 years passed and Hurst was released to a detainer in New Iberia and Livingston Parish for outstanding charges. Reports say he remained in custody in Iberia Parish until he was sentenced to new convictions in September of 2022, including aggravated assault with a firearm and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Why was Hurst not in jail for his sentence of 8 years on a firearm charge back in 2022? News 10 investigated. District Attorney Bo Dewey told News 10 to speak with the Department of Corrections and they should be able to provide an answer. The OC report says the court gave him credit for the time served from 2018 and he was released on good time parole supervision in October. Reports say since then until July of last year, Hurst met the conditions of his supervision and met with his parole officer 11 times. On the 24th of July, a warrant was issued for his arrest and he remained at large and was wanted by probation and parole. Hurst appeared in court last week on several charges, including home invasion and aggravated second-degree battery. His bond was set at $500,000. State police are still investigating the standoff and shooting and have not yet charged him in connection with that incident. Roderick Taylor, KLFY, News 10.
Also out of Lafayette Parish, some of the tenants at Himbola, the troubled apartment complex, are protesting and telling us about the deplorable conditions they're living in. News 10 Laney Miller was there and reports on what's being done to fix those problems.
Himbola apartment residents protested their living conditions and demanded solutions.
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Tara Fogelman helped organize the protest.
I feel their pain. And for anyone who's listening, who's never had life throw them a curveball financially and feel that, oh, well, why haven't these people moved out? They should just move out of this condition. You don't understand what it feels like then to be so low income, working, keeping your head above water.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in Texas, where Himbola's owner is located, was inspecting the property today. One tenant tells News 10 the chief of HUD says he's looking for cases of mismanagement. He wants to find ways to relocate residents to non-hazardous locations. State Representative Timmy Chasson says LCG had its second inspection of Himbola today.
And what's going to occur is now at this point, whatever wasn't addressed from the first to the second inspection, that's going to go to AB court after this point. The judge at that point can order them to fix it, order fines, and I think fining, in case they don't have it addressed by that time, I think the fining situation will actually help rectify a lot of it.
A Texas-based maintenance company was there today rectifying some of the damages that were reported.
Y'all paint white paint on the top of this mold? No, my daughter got asthma. There's no way y'all should be doing this. It's no way. We got 2 of them right now in the hospital. I wonder what they're in the hospital for. From back here. Why? Might be mold. Could be anything going on.
Tenants tell News 10 that the fixes are only temporary to pass inspection, and they aren't seeing any permanent solutions yet. In Lafayette, Lainey Miller, KLFY News 10.
In Acadia Parish, a beloved family business has burned down in rain, and the community is standing by the owners, who have always been there to help them. News 10's Zane Hogue in rain, where he spoke to a few people in the city who want to thank the owners for their decades of service.
Here in Rain, the city is in recovery after a fire burned down a beloved family business and a historical building that has stood for over a century.
The building was first opened in 1904 as a bakery and would host a variety of businesses until 1990, when the Semino family would open their Farmers True Value hardware store. In the years since, the Seminos and their store would become part of the fabric of the city of Rain.
You know, I opened my office over here nearly 4 years ago, and the whole time his hardware store has been right across the street, and he's been a big help to me. And sometimes he even came over here to actually help me. You're not going to find that in a big city. That's a small town thing.
It was just a very good family for the public. They were always there. I didn't see Daniel open up on a Sunday during the ice storm. He came open up for people to get parts on a Sunday when they were closed, to be able to get water back on their lines.
That feeling of family and customer service would be felt all the way up until the store burned down this week on Daniel Semino's birthday. The loss of the building would shock the Semino family, who did not wish to speak about it during their time of recovery.
And as the Semino family deals with the loss of their business, News 10 has heard from a few of their neighbors on Adams Avenue who send their love and support.
Daniel's been our neighbor for 34 years. He's very involved in the community and always helping people out. We just want the family to know they have our support here at Mouton's Pharmacy, and we're praying for him.
Hope that he's going to be in a position to be able to rebuild and get open back up and continue to do what he does and serve this community.
Daniel Semino, lifelong friend, a pillar in the community, a guy who's always willing to help out anyone and everyone, had a great business here in town. We're all pulling for him to get back up on his feet and hopefully get the store opened up back up as soon as he can.
You in our prayers, buddy. You know, I'm always here for you and your family. We've been friends a long time, and not a big guy, but I got some strong shoulders. So if you need, you know how to find me. God bless you and your family.
Zane Hogue, KLFY News 10.
Renovations were recently completed at Planet Fitness in New Iberia to bring in new workout equipment for customers. As News 10's Dr. D'Amico reports, instead of throwing away those old machines, they decided to give back to the community.
The old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure, can be applied to many different scenarios. And right here in New Iberia, Planet Fitness recently gave its old workout equipment to different schools in the area, one of which being Westgate High School.
It's good. I mean, we don't have much, so any little bit counts.
According to the New Iberia location's general manager, Caleb Ratliff, the company made renovations to many areas in the facility. Ratliff came up with the idea to give back to the community, and he started at his old high school.
So I just felt that it was best to donate it back to both my old high school and just for us to give back to the community in any way possible.
Ratliff said while Westgate was able to receive a lot of the donations, Delcom High received some as well.
So it was a whole lot of strength equipment, and then also some cardio equipment, and then also free weights as well.
Westgate head football coach Ryan Antoine talked about how grateful the program is for the donation as it brings the community together in a very positive way.
It's just good to help out the community. I mean, at the end of the day, anything to help these kids out is big. These kids out here come out in the summer, giving them some out to come out here and go to work, and trying to do something to uplift our community. So anything or anybody that wants to help out with that would be big.
Coach Antoine says all the donated equipment is currently being stored until the room is made for them to be able to use it. In New Iberia, Dawson D'Amico, KLFY News 10.
And new to this hour of Pop Spot 2, we head to Jeff Davis Parish for Jennings High School. The football stadium is getting upgrades this year with safety in mind. News 10's Lainey Miller joins us again to tell us what renovations Bulldog fans can expect.
This is the last football season where Jennings High football fans can attend games at Jerry Simmons Stadium when it looks exactly like this. The high school is undergoing phase 2 of their renovations of the football stadium after this football season.
So as far as safety, it's going to create a safer environment for our athletes, our coaches, and our fans as well whenever we get all of the upgrades done.
A new field house is being built to give more people a place to shelter for emergencies.
Anytime that there's anything that goes on, we're actually going to have a place to go to. You know, we do have a locker room right now, which we share with our visitors. It's very small. We can't fit all our players in there. You know, anytime you have weather concerns or anything else that we have to prepare for nowadays, we have a safe place to go to.
This season, Jennings will enjoy the new turf field, fencing, and draining system following the first phase of renovations completed this spring.
It's just something whenever you look out, you know, you're standing on the sidelines, you're out there on the field, and you get to look out at the new structures, you know, the new press box, new concession stand, new ticket booth, your own locker room. You know, it's just something to take pride in.
So that second phase coming up, everyone is really excited because they got to see a finalized project, you know, from the first phase. So it's kind of some light at the end of the tunnel. The next phase is going to be great.
Their goal is to be finished with the stadium renovations before the 2025 football season. In Jennings, Lainey Miller, KLFY News 10.
In Vermilion Parish, the school district is among the top 10 in the state for LEAP testing. Results show the parish scoring 45% in mastery level. News 10's Rodrika Taylor is back and spoke with the superintendent about the scores and the role they play in education.
Superintendent Tommy Ballard tells me they were pleased with the LEAP scores and credits to students, teachers, administrators, and parents.
We've been the tops in Acadiana for a good while, and so, you know, it's a challenge to stay on the top.
Ballard says the LEAP tests are one portion of school performance.
You never know how you're going to succeed or not. You know, we were pleased with them. You know, there were some areas, you know, overall we stayed the same when the majority of the state dropped. And we had some pockets that were really, really good. There's some areas of concern that we're going to continue to work with. But overall, definitely we were happy with the outcome.
These systems that we're showing here are leading the state in their overall proficiency rates.
With Vermilion Parish scoring 45% at a mastery level, Ballard says their goal is to get to 50% of their population.
Ultimately, our goal is to teach every day. You know, the test is just a small part of what kids are. They're not a test number. But unfortunately, that's how the system ranks us. It's important that we know what we're doing, how do we get better, and keep going forward.
He credits several schools that had good scores in different subjects, including Dozier Elementary, 7th Ward Elementary, and Erath High School.
You have to have a full village to take care of kids, and you know, and that's important. So, you know, LEAP scores aren't all just about a kid. It takes everybody to get them there. So we're excited about that.
You can see the full data on the state's LEAP scores on our website at klfy.com. In Vermilion Parish, Rodrika Taylor, KLFY News 10.
And yes, it does take an entire village. And Ville Platte, Truth, Faith, and Home Care knows it best because they hosted their second annual backpack giveaway. The organization was able to give away over 150 bags. That's 150 bags to students to ensure they're ready for the first day of school. Best of luck to all of you students in the upcoming school year. And speaking of school education, schools officially kick off the year this week. Lafayette, Acadia, and Iberia Parish schools will start Wednesday. Evangeline, St. Landry, and Vermilion Parish start Thursday. And Jeff Davis and St. Martin Parish schools, they start on Friday. And your eye on health, and your eye on Louisiana, with the peak hurricane season approaching mid-September, FEMA is urging residents to understand their flood risk and make proactive decisions and do so now. A FEMA administrator sat down with me to talk about deadlines and insurance policies. So home insurance and flood insurance are totally different. Just so you know, there's a 30-day wait for that flood insurance policy you just purchased to kick in.
there's a hurricane in the Gulf and it's going to be here on Thursday. I need to get a policy because they wouldn't be within that time period and they wouldn't be eligible for the policy to go into effect and pay them out.
Hurricane season 2024 is expected to be active. Tony Hake, branch chief at FEMA's Federal Insurance Customer Service Division, encourages having a plan and purchasing flood insurance now.
Because of that 30-day waiting period we talked about, I'd make sure that they know the risk. I'd make sure that they're prepared in advance.
Know that renters can get flood insurance too, even without a mortgage.
Anybody that's in an NFIP participating community, of which it's almost all the communities within the country with some exceptions, can purchase flood insurance. Renters can also purchase renter's insurance to cover the contents in the event of a loss.
File a claim, document all items you gather to be discarded. Be proactive and document your belongings before a storm hits. And keep important papers in a waterproof container.
You also could take and make sure your gutters and your drains and things like that aren't blocked and clean them out. You can elevate things as well just for preparation of the event.
Also, remember, no double dipping.
If they filed a claim 2 years ago, they need to make sure all those things were corrected or adjusted or fixed, whatever it would be, and then that this is a separate claim so you wouldn't get paid twice for the same type of loss.
Resident can also team up with a local floodplain insurance administrator just to get a hang of things and also deal with their flood insurance agent who knows how to file a claim. All right, and you can check out floodsmart.gov to find all the companies that sell flood insurance. Learn about your maps and where your zones are. The companies are agents of FEMA to help administer the National Flood Insurance Program. You can find a link to that story on our website. That's at klfy.com. And as you prepare for flood waters, I think you should also prepare for this heat. Take some water with you, find places of shade, make sure you can get yourself on some air conditioner or something if you're out and about.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hot out there for this week. We could be flirting with triple-digit heat later in the week. Let's take a look at temperatures this morning. We're sitting in the upper 70s to lower 80s, 79 in Lafayette, 76 in New Iberia. And we have some storms, but those are moving well offshore, and things will be quieting down storm-wise for today. Only about a 20% type of day. You can see a few specks here on the radar across Cameron Parish and another one there across Beauregard, but that's about it for this morning. Satellite radar shows this complex of storms working down to the south. We saw some heavier storms yesterday evening, but those have since dissipated as well, and things will be much better for today. Temperatures rising through the 80s and 90s. We hit 99 yesterday, so no reason to believe we won't be close to that again today. I'll say about 98 your high. Future track shows partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies and maybe an isolated storm, but that's about it for tomorrow. Rain chances continue to go down and the heat continues to go up. We'll be near 99 to 100 for tomorrow and even hotter by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as this high pressure is going to continue to give us some very hot weather. Even during the morning hours, lows may be 80 to 81. It will be that type of week. And heat indices will be a little bit lower for today than what they were yesterday because moisture is lower. That's one good silver lining about today. We have drier air coming in out of the north, so heat indices not overly high for today or for tomorrow, but we'll see later in the week. Hopefully this dry air sticks around and we'll keep the heat indices down, at least away from that 108 to 115 degree range they were yesterday. Drier air continues to filter in through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as this high pressure really settles in across the area. Notice it builds back to the south and east a bit for Monday and Tuesday. It's also protecting us from anything tropical. Here's Tropical Storm Debbie working off to the north. Of course, these systems cannot go into high pressure, so they have to move around them. So that's why this tropical storm here is moving off to the north and not affecting us. So definitely good news for us, but unfortunately bad news for Florida and the Carolinas, Georgia as well, as this system is going to dump a lot of rainfall, anywhere from 10 to 15 inches possible through the next few days, because this storm will slow to a crawl across Georgia and South Carolina. But right now it's still across waters, moving off to the north and intensifying. It's a 60 mile per hour tropical storm now, moving north-northwest at 13 miles per hour. hour, pressure of 1,001 millibars. So winds have come up, and it has about another 24 hours or so over water. So a minimal hurricane is definitely looking likely. Could be around 80 miles per hour at landfall, and then that slow crawl across Georgia and the Carolinas through Tuesday. So 98 your high today, partly cloudy and hot. Isolated rain chances at 20%. 7-day forecast shows near triple-digit heat through Monday, Tuesday, and definitely triple-digit heat Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then maybe a few showers coming in Friday and Saturday.
All right, be sure to be careful when you're out there, and like I said, carry some water with you. Drink plenty of water.
Yeah, for sure.
So remember to visit KLFY.com for more information on the stories you see this morning and more, and also to keep up to date on Trevor's weather forecast.